Hello and welcome to a Let's Play of Thief, Deadly Shadows. Um, another name for the game might as well be Thief 3. Don't know why they didn't call it that. Either way. I do want to say a few words before getting into this. Most importantly, this is a blind Let's Play, so I haven't actually played this game through. Just finished playing Thief 1 and Thief 2, so it's more or less a continuation. I did play the tutorial mission, which taught me a few things. First and foremost, this feels like this is a port from a console game. I'm saying that simply because there is not a basic control options like mouse and TV does not exist in this game, which basically means that to get this game playable, you have to manually alter some of their basically setting files, which is that's a huge no-no. You never should have to do that, and it's really a very basic thing. Every PC game pretty much has at least mouse sensitivity controls. More to the point, that's not really good enough for a lot of reasons. I'm not sure how well the recording goes, because let's say if you just want to play the game, I didn't have all this much trouble getting it to just play, and it plays just fine, at least the little I played. But every time you want to do something a little bit more complicated, or add new things to the mix, there's a huge amount of little issues that pop up. One of them is very odd performance problems. I'm 100% sure that it's not my computer, simply because I did the same thing a little bit differently and the performance problems went away totally. So I have no fucking clue what's wrong with this game, or what's causing it. But I'm just saying it, if there's some oddities like the mouse cursor here flickering or something like that, the alternative to that is massive input problems, basically in mouse control lag in the game. When I say massive, I'm saying I will not play the game. If that's my option, I'm basically not playing the game at all, or making a let's play of it. So if there are minor issues like that, I don't give a shit, because the alternative is much worse. So the alternative is not to make a let's play at all, and I just basically play the game on because I want to play it for myself. But that hopefully it'll work more or less as intended.
I got a tip last night from my fence. Heartless Perry. A nobleman named Lord Julian had some sort of quarrel and showed up at a local inn well after nightfall and in a foul mood. He's carrying a velvet bag about the size of a man's fist, and it never leaves his sight. Sounds likely to be valuable, but I'll know for sure when I steal it from him. Perry sent over a floor plan of the place, the Blue Heron Inn. Finding his lordship won't be hard. His room number will be in the guest register, if I can get to the front desk to read it. The inn will have guards, but not as many as a private estate. That should make things easy, which is one of the reasons I'm willing to try it without knowing for sure what the take will be. Lord Julian is so protective of that bag. There's got to be something of value in it.
Yeah, but that could be something of personal value, not something that's has monetary value for you. We can't change the difficulty setting here. This is basically a tutorial mission. I did notice a few things though. The loot requirements are no longer in absolute numbers, they're percentage numbers of the total loot. I'll probably try to... This is my first time, so I'm sort of tempted to go with normal. Although I'll probably go with hard. Might end up regretting that. The reason is there's well, let's go with the positives first. There's an actual indication of what the difficulty setting affects, which is very, very nice thing. Opponent sensory acuteness, opponent combat ability, number of opponents, player damage resistance. I'll definitely not play with the expert. It also seems to affect the amount of special loot you have to get from mission. So 1 for easy, 2 for hard, 3 for expert. I assume that means there's basically 3 special loot items in the mission. I don't know how easy this is, but you will go with hard anyway. I might end up regretting it, but what? Well, sucks to be me, I guess. Break into the inn, find out what room Lord Julian is staying in, steal Lord Julian's velvet bag from his room. Leave the inn once you have the velvet bag. I did notice some other differences. There's a practical inventory screen, and you also can see what loot items you have. What I seem to notice is that when I basically ended the tutorial and move on to the next mission, you don't have a chance to buy new equipment, and the loot you pick from this mission stay with you. So clearly there's some different way of handling loot and purchases. At least I think so. Either way. And the map. Okay, I mention it because I think it's fairly... It's the one thing that really pops up, is that while there are a lot of similarities to Thief 1 and 2, it's not exactly the same. There's a lot of new things in this game. New ways of hiding. Flashbangs were definitely very different. Here they are more about escape tool. They blind the target temporarily. In the previous games they also make them helpless, so if you knock them in with a blackjack, they'll go unconscious. Here blackjacks aren't gonna do shit to them if they're just blinded. You have to be totally unnoticed for a weapon like this to be fully effective. So it's very similar, very familiar game. Definitely a Thief game, but I think assuming that the game works just like the previous games is going to cause me more trouble than it's going to help me. So I'll try to keep an open mind about this. This mission is very much a tutorial mission though, so there's no real free roaming here. Welcome to the training mission. Throughout the rest of the game, you will make your own choices and take your own path. In this mission, however, you will be given instructions at every step. To get started, follow the footprints on the ground to the first training experience. Very familiar, there's the light gem. Compass is attached to the light gem, which I actually like because it bothers them having it a part of your inventory. Now it's conveniently constantly visible. Lighting is much better engine. Be a thief, you must learn to use stealth. When you hide in shadows, guards will not be able to see you unless they are very close. Light gem at the bottom of the screen will tell you how visible you are. Crouching, moving slowly, and hiding behind objects can also be helpful, but are not always required. In this case, the guard will not see you if you remain in the darkness. Sneak past this card to proceed. Some guards will be on patrols looking for intruders. You must learn to observe your enemies and use careful timing to slip by them while their backs are turned. Sneak past this patrolling guard without getting caught. Yeah, this is very basic stuff. We should be able to push through the tutorial mission very quickly. Even though some things work in a different manner, it is very familiar overall. The sounds you make can alert guards, so you must learn to move quietly. Your footsteps are louder when you run and when you cross over loud floor surfaces, such as metal. Walk slowly and quietly over this metal surface without alerting the nearby guard. All missions have objectives, even this training mission. Your first objective is to break into the inn. You can complete the objective by entering through this delivery hatch. Yeah, do you know how to crouch? Yes, I do. There's also physics in this game, which was a big surprise. I'm not sure how that will play into effect, but it probably will. Hopefully. I don't think there's any kick command though, which is fairly disappointing. There's always situations where you basically wish you could just kick the guy forward a little bit, kick him off a ledge or something. It's very satisfying. Also, one very annoying thing: water arrows. The game's sound system seems to be fairly balanced overall, but for some reason firing arrows is quite a bit louder than others. If I attack with daggers, there's not much sound. Even if I hit a target, the sound isn't all that impressive. Water arrows when you draw it, doesn't do much, but when you shoot it, very loud noise compared to everything else. Also, I don't like this. This is basically a highlight if I want to use an item, and it looks like a shitty magic effect from Morrowind. So this looks just awful, god awful. But it highlights what you can use, so we have to live with that. It doesn't look so bad here with the crate, for example, but with the door, use your bow and water arrow to extinguish the torch. Yeah. Climb obstacles. Yeah, I think I can do that. That's it. I want to take a look what's here. There's not all that much loot here. What I do want to go see is just take a look around, see if I spot anything unnatural. Because I don't know what looks what in this game. I think I could spot a lot of things in Thief 1 and 2 at this point. But this, I have no idea what looks what. And I'd rather learn in a tutorial mission. Wait, we also have a body, which is nice. Proper lighting system does add quite a bit to the immersion, if nothing else. Rats. Lockpicking. A locked door is no obstacle for a skilled thief. This is also something new. I'm not quite sure how this works, but yeah, I'm good enough at it that I'm not gonna get stuck at these. Use this door. Yeah, okay. You must find the sweet spot in each stage to make progress. Note any movement on the visual lock indicator to gauge the location of the sweet spot. You are in the sweet spot when the movement is the strongest. When you find the sweet spot, stay in it long enough and you will complete the stage. Pick open the lock to proceed. It's actually, I would say this is an improvement probably over with what it is. very... yeah. I basically control the thing in the lower right corner. It's basically I can choose. It sort of looks like a dagger swinging in the center. What it is basically though is that I have I can move a point within that circle, and I need to find the correct spot that will allow me to proceed. With this, there's three phases because there's three rings around there. It's not any bigger or longer than the previous one, but what I like it about it that's it's you doing the actual lockpicking instead of you just waiting. So it fits very well in a first-person type of a game. Less of a basically just a waiting game and more of a skill game. You must learn to ambush your opponents. One hit from the blackjack can take down an opponent silently. To blackjack successfully, you must strike from behind when your opponent is not aware of your presence. So if you're blackjack, there's also one nice thing. You can immediately tell when you're close enough to do a blackjack. We're currently, the blackjack is down, but when we go close enough, Garret will raise it automatically. Yeah. So you don't have to guess when you're close enough. If you leave bodies, yeah, move the body. I don't like this. There's no clear indicator that you're carrying a body. I don't see why not. It's a fairly simple thing. You're clearly carrying it if you take a look, but when you're playing like this, it's quite easy to not actually see are you carrying something or not. So I don't understand why they didn't just bother with the indicator. There's nothing wrong with it. Front desk. Guest list: Lord Julian, the pianist suite.
Lord Julian. Wouldn't do to have anyone think he was just Julian.
Not everything you pick up will be useful or valuable. The item you just picked up can only be dropped or thrown. Drop. Go. Oh no. Yeah, fireplace. Any secrets there? Probably not. It's a tutorial mission though. I don't care. Check your map. Yeah, this map isn't helpful. Can I slash these? No. Our first loot item. They seem to have that little glow from time to time. So even in total darkness you can spot loot items if you just stay still for a second. Can we go on to the next floor? New. Okay, why aren't you targeting it? An observant thief keeps an eye out for valuable objects such as this goblet. The loot you steal can later be sold to your friends for cash. Highlight the goblet and press R. 1%. I wonder what that means. I mean, there might be a lot. There's certainly not 100 of those in this tutorial part, so I'm guessing there's sort of a several stages in a mission before you can get rid of loot. So it's impossible to say how much loot there is in this tutorial section because it's only one small part of the larger mission chain. You can press up against the walls to decrease your visibility in the light gem and to fit into narrow shadows. Yeah, this is a new thing, which I find quite pleasing. Hide better. More importantly, you can still move around here, at least a little bit. So if there's just a little bit of shadow at the edges, you can still try to remain unnoticed. Very nice. Something new. That's the door to Lord Julian's room, but the guard is in your way. You can distract him by using a noisemaker arrow. Shoot the noisemaker arrow down the hall and he will run towards the noise to investigate. Yeah. I don't think we have a lot of other options, so might as well do as the game says.
That's not a... What's that noise? That's odd.
50% of the loot. Sometimes things don't work out as expected. Lord Julian isn't here in his room, and neither is the velvet bag you're trying to steal. Find a clue, yeah. Is this the clue? 62% of the loot. My friend and honored Lord Julian, I will meet you in the Lancaster room tonight. I trust you will be mindful of the risks involved and be generous. Morris the cook.
His lordship has gone for a walk. Can't have gone far.
I wonder if I can... if there's loot here. The 5%. $87. Lancaster. Lord Julian is here sitting near the fire talking to someone. His purse is right next to him. Sneak up and steal the purse without being seen or heard by anyone in the room. When you got the purse, proceed to the kitchen. Stick to the shadows. Walk silently and move while your opponent's backs are turned. Keep an eye on your light gem and use your tools if you need to. The guard starts searching for you. Sneak away from him carefully.
He's your cousin, my lord.
I won the bet. My shaft was closer by a thumb's width. The bloodline opal should rightfully be mine.
If I may, my lord, I can help you. I know the castle.
Well, you're a cook. What could you know?
Every evening after sunset, the supply wagon comes through that gate and into the courtyard. And no one looks twice. Arrange for your men to be inside one evening.
And then we cut our way through. 5 good men against 20. And my accursed cousin.
My lord, listen. There is a passage leading into the castle from the courtyard. I can open it for you if you give me the signal. The torch in the lion's head.
Saw something. Like a... Not sure.
Head torch.
Yes.
Bloody hell! Now I saw that.
And hold the
Who's over there?
Noble. I will take my place as head of the family. The Lady Elizabeth will be waiting. Even now she'll be flattering him.
Yeah,
That was
100%
no
appeal.
cat or nothing I saw.
Only the medallion is the only key, my lord. You must keep hold of it.
You forget Lord Ember has another. I hear he guards it with his life.
My lord, I wish only for peace in the household.
The opal is mine. I won that bet, Morris. I won it.
Good for you.
Stop your hiding. Come into the light. I'll give you this. At least you're consistent.
Sometimes even a careful thief gets caught. You can always fight it, fight if it comes to that, but it's usually safer to make a getaway. Try tossing a flash bomb and escaping while your opponents are blinded. Optionally, you can try attacking with your dagger. One way or another, escape through the door, which leads outside.
Hey, turn those back on.
It's gone. Stolen. Who dares? I will have your head for this. Guards! Guards!
Anyone there?
No.
This isn't funny.
Pretty funny.
Guess I was wrong. Nothing
I'll see if I can backstab the bastard. I've tried fighting it, and frankly I don't want to fight against guards. It seems, since I don't have a sword, it's very hard to use similar tactics as in Thief 1 or 2.
I'm bloody dangerous, huh?
Proceed to the exit area to complete your final objective.
Close one, but I've still got the goods.
Yeah. Went just fine. You're about to end the mission, do you want to continue? Yes.
Nothing like mixing in society, especially if it comes with good loot. The velvet bag turned out to hold a bronze medallion stamped with a griffin. Valuable enough, but more interesting was the conversation I overheard between Lord Julian and the cook. Especially the part about a huge opal and a conspiracy for stealing it. I'd hate to have anyone but me get a stone like that. But I need a better idea where to start looking. If I show the medallion to my fence, I'm sure he'll know more. Heartless Perry always does.
Briefing. Stats. 14 minutes, 200 loot out of 200 stolen times caught, blackjack, killed, unstealthy kill. Killing, I think, while somewhat dangerous in Thief 1 2, is more dangerous here. I mean, normal face-to-face fighting, because we have a dagger and they have a sword. And if we're gonna amp the difficulty level to hard, that's gonna be even less of an option. Especially since you can't just... if you throw a flashbang, it'll blind targets, but it won't kill them. Can't say about the undead though. Undead can be killed with flashbangs in the Thief 2 and 1, I think. Sure about this. So we will just have to experiment with things. Anything else? We can still see the same gear. We have 5 flash bombs. Will temporarily blind your opponent. Throw it to the area. Throw it to the ground to affect everyone in the nearby. And we still see the loot and quantity. Might as well just continue on pretty straight